Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Q.U.I.R.K.Cast, your number one place for all things Quirk. I'm one of your hosts, Timber, and your local Hufflepuff.
Yay, Hufflepuff! And I'm your other co-host, Kels Bells, House Slytherin.
Ooh, no wonder we get along so well.
Oh, well, what's on today's cast, Timber?
Today we have a magical episode where we're going to be checking out Race Mode, brand new and improved, with a new dev, Adam.
Oh, I can't wait for that, but of course we're gonna have to put him in Backyard Brawl heads up.
Yes, we're gonna get to that, but first we're gonna be checking out your YouTube comments as well as your Discord stories.
What are we waiting for?
Let's do it!
All right, we've got your YouTube comments from our last Q.U.I.R.K.Cast. Timber, what do we have?
We have Killer04.
Killer04 says, can you build a futuristic airplane? I think I can probably do that. I built a dive bomber, 17's dive bomber, a few weeks ago. Check that out for sure. It's very futuristic looking, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, if anyone can do it, you can, Kels.
Thank you. I believe in me.
All right, so next up we have Freddie Fan, I should say.
Freddie Fan says, I play this game a lot. It's awesome. My gamer name is Legend.
Ooh. I like it. I can't wait to see your scores, Legend.
Yes.
Probably legendary.
Probably legendary.
Absolutely. Glad we both made that
Great job.
Thank you, Freddie, for your comment.
Thank you.
And next up we have an old friend, Doodle.
Of course, Doodle. Doodle says, I'm so excited I could just dance. In all caps. 3 exclamation points.
3 exclamation points.
That is so cool. And you should, if you feel like dancing, dance.
Just do it. Just wiggle it out. It's all good.
Yes.
And thank you to everyone who left a YouTube comment. We really appreciate it. And don't forget to leave one below right now.
Do it.
Yes.
We will read it on air next time, maybe. All right. We have some Discord stories too, right? Or at least one.
We do.
All right, what is it?
We have 17 Lock 17.
All right, this is a long story. There once was a player called Locke. He has dominated the battlefield by eliminating 40 players in his so-called dive bomber. His gizmo was as furious as he was that smashed through 2 separate layers of blocks like butter, eliminating 2 people inside the building. Soon the dive bomber was shot down. Luckily, one of his teammates gave the whole team a power-up to make them invincible. Locke re-entered the building, eliminating 6 people in a matter of seconds. As soon as his dive bomber was able to be used again, Locke caused a total war with it to the end of the match. Wow!
That was awesome!
The twists, the turns, the dive bomber.
The teamwork.
Wow.
That was
It had everything.
Yeah, that was a true epic. Thank you, 17 Lock 17, for sharing your Quirk story. If you want to share your story and your experiences in Quirk, we would love to hear from you at discord.gg/Quirk. We're always hanging out in there, and we hope to see you there soon.
Yes. All right. It is time for Adam to come on and talk about the new and improved race mode. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Let's do it.
Yes. All right, everyone, we're hanging out with one of our newest devs to the studio, our second Adam. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Hey, everybody. I'm good.
Good, good. So, Adam, I'm going to start with the most basic of questions. What do you do here at UGen?
I'm a programmer, so I do a lot of gameplay code, mostly on the client side. Anything that's typically got explosions or player avatars or things that run around, that's me.
That's awesome. That's very exciting work. I love it. So tell me a little bit about what you have worked on. We kind of brought you on and then immediately set you on a pretty exciting project.
Yeah, so I've been in game development for quite a while, nearly 20 years at this point.
Wow.
So since dinosaurs roamed the earth, basically. And just worked on a lot of platforms, PlayStation, Xbox, PC, done some MMOs, got into mobile development, so that's where I am now.
That's awesome. Quite the history. I love that. Is there something in particular that you really enjoy working on in your field?
So I really just like working on games where I can be close to the player. So that's typically why I do client side instead of server side, is so I can get a really quick feedback loop. So if we want to test out a new feature, try it out, talk to the players, see how they like it, make changes. That sort of rapid iteration is what I like to do.
I love that. So you fit in right here. That's exactly how our studio runs. And for something a little more personal, what do you do for fun? What kind of games do you like to play? Any tabletops? This is a pointed question because I want to bring it up.
I do. I am a big fan of D&D and other RPGs. I've got a Thursday night group that meets every other week and a Sunday group that meets once a month. So a couple of different games going. We've done some Star Wars stuff. We've done some Apocalypse World. We've done a lot of D&D. Yeah.
That's awesome. What would you say, you, Adam, as a person, what is your D&D class?
Oh man, as a person, I would have to say sorcerer, and we can get into that at a different time maybe, but I've got an entire theory about how programmers fit into the cleric, wizard, sorcerer,
that's really
magic user
exciting.
class. So.
I'm going to put that one in my pocket. We don't quite have time for that because we are hopping into race mode, which you have had quite an extensive hand in, huh?
Right, so we took some existing race mode that was in the game and we refactored it a bit and created several new modes.
Ooh.
So there's a time trial mode where you can just race against your best time around a brand new track that was created. And then we've got a challenge mode where you can go up against leaderboards of other players. And then one of the new features that we added, which is really cool, is that when you do a race, we record not only your time, but we record your gizmo going around the track so that we can replay it for other players.
That's awesome. I like the sneak peek. So we're going to dive more into race mode and what you have worked on right now.
All right.
All right, we are back with Adam taking a deeper look into race mode. So Adam, we're hanging out in the new Gizmo Speedway map, right? Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and just give a quick tour of this map. It is also in one of our newer environments, too. We got a cool desert mode theme going on here.
Right, you can see as I'm rotating the camera around that we're on top of this giant mesa, and if you look down off the edge, you can see the racetrack down below. And so that's one of the new features that we did for this mode is that we've got players in kind of a little commons area up on top, and they can watch the action, and then we'll be racing right down below. So
incredible.
If you go up to the time trial kiosk, you can start the race, and then the times that you get in that time trial will show up on this giant leaderboard floating up here in the sky.
Can we tap it? Can I see what happens when you... It's beautiful.
All right, so we can do that and rotate it, and it will show your avatar and your best time.
Excellent. Oh, it's beautiful. So let's go ahead and show off some of your work, some of your time trial stuff we got going on.
Right on, okay.
All right, I'm going to hop in with you, too, so we're both going to be playing. Oh,
all right. So we've each got a gizmo that's fired up here.
I hope you're in a good one. I have no idea. Oh, you're in the race. Oh, that's great. So while we race, talk to me a little bit specifically about how you started when you were given this project.
Sure.
How did you come up with what you wanted to do? Where did you begin?
Right, so one of the challenges that we had to solve just in the first place was that racetracks were a very specific kind of mode in the game and had very specific maps. And so just making it so that races could take place in a commons area, and then also making it so that races could have a configurable number of laps. So those were two of the things that we had to fix, and then we had some help from our very talented level designers and artists to create this long, winding pathway to go through.
Awesome.
Spin around.
Very cool.
You're back there somewhere. This is a pretty good vehicle.
I'm way back. I'm at like lap 2 or 10 rather. Like it's not good. So coming up with those solutions, how did you kind of work those out? I mean,
sure. So being a relatively new team member, a lot of what I do is kind of detective work. So I figure out how the code is written, and then I have to go in and make the changes that I need to create the new modes. And so that was kind of the lion's share of the work. And then once I understood how the existing race mode worked, I could start to see how to kind of tease it apart, put it back together, so that you could have races in multiple kinds of maps.
Oh, that's awesome, actually. That's so cool. So you have to go in, figure it out, take it apart, put it back together, essentially as a new design.
Right, because if I can avoid reinventing the wheel, then that saves me time and saves everybody else time, and then I'm using code that's already been debugged and tested. Oh, I missed a checkpoint. Now you're going to win.
Yeah, I am.
I'm stuck in the lava.
Oh, good. So you mentioned that there's different maps. So I'm going to go ahead and end this race so we can hop into some of the other things. You know, we have challenge mode as well. So let's dive into that.
Okay.
Excellent. I like that everything is just in this map too.
Yeah, this is really
incredible.
handy. You can go from one race mode to the other. You can edit your gizmos. You can even deploy them and test drive around on the top of the mesa. So that's fun.
That's awesome. So there's currently 2 ways to get into this race challenge. You could either walk up to it from the Speedway, the Gizmo Speedway, or if you don't feel like doing that, let's go ahead and go to the play button right on the menu. Perfect. Oh, that was super easy. I love it. Yep. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So what do we have? Can you talk to me a little bit about what we're looking at now?
Sure. So what we did here is we took some of the existing racetracks and sort of repurposed them and made them into these challenge races. And so what you're seeing here is a menu that lets you select the track you want to race on. And then as you do, you can see who's got the best time on that track. So these are other players out in the community that have raced and gotten really good times, and you can decide whether you want to race that person or pick someone else.
Oh wow! So they get to go in, have their race,
Right.
and that kind of sets it up for your challenge as well.
Right, and what we talked about earlier about recording not only the race time, but the gizmo that they used and the path they took around the track, that's what you're going to be competing with.
That's incredible. So I have a quick question about that. Let's go ahead and pick your favorite one. Let's see. We're going to be racing against 17.
All right.
Awesome. Yeah, he's incredible. Shout out to 17 for being on top of the leaderboard on all of the maps. Looks like we picked a familiar race.
All right, so you can see my gizmo in there, and you can also see this crazy fast other gizmo just taking off and blowing me away.
Yeah,
So-
then that would be 17.
Right, and that's not actually 17 playing right now. That's a recording of their best time on this track.
Wow. So when you were kind of thinking up the designs for race mode, what kind of sparked this particular? Because I have to say, it feels super ingenious to me. Was that you did that as well, correct?
I did, and so I think that's a benefit of just kind of being old and having a lot of experience in the game industry, where sometimes kind of old school techniques work really well. And in this case, one of the things that's really tricky with multiplayer games is getting the physics right. And
Yeah.
so if we were to record the inputs and then play those back, you know, you'd hit a wall, and maybe on one phone you'd bounce one way, and on another phone you'd bounce a different way, and the race wouldn't play back exactly right. So what I did for this one was I just recorded really simple positions and rotations and played those back. And so that gives me a really accurate representation of what the other player did on the track. And it's high fidelity enough that it captures the bounces and the twists and turns and, you know, spinning around in the air, but it's also I guess low fidelity enough that it doesn't eat up a ton of memory.
Wow, that is all so much above my pay grade and incredible work. I am so impressed. Incredible. So I'm actually in your race now too, and it really feels like I'm racing not only against you but this third player as well. So nice job.
Yeah, that
Let's see.
gizmo is pretty impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's incredible. So I'm actually going to hop out. Let's check out maybe another race, show off one more track while we have you. And talk to me a little bit about what was a victory for you in this? You're kind of working on all these new things, and you mentioned some challenges. What really was a breakthrough for you?
Oh, let's see. I think just bringing together several different systems to make this happen. So I was just really pleased that, you know, the code existed, that I didn't have to write a ton of new tech. So we already had code that would, you know, load gizmos, and the ones these recordings that I'm loading up, they're actually fake gizmos. They don't have physics on them. They don't have collision on them, and so we call them ghosts internally, and that's really literally what they are. Is they can just float around and you can drive through them, so they don't impede your progress. So this is a great way for you to focus on getting your best time, but you don't have to worry about running into that recording of the other player.
Oh, that's incredible. So I gotta say, just everything is so well thought out. There's even, I just want to point out previous checkpoints. So if you ever are in a pickle, if you tap that previous checkpoint.
Oh, right. So if I fall off the ledge here,
yeah,
I can
which
go
will
back.
happen. And you just bounce back.
Now I'm right back up there. Now there is a little bit of a time penalty. Your clock does not restart. So
Oh,
there I did it
okay.
again. So that's a kind of a strategy that's up to you as the player.
Right. Is it worth trying to get out of the hole, or is it worth just going back?
Exactly.
Clever. I see we have our laps and our I like the speed too. Oh, beautiful. Just gonna play for a minute. It's just too much
Yeah, we have
fun.
some really talented UI artists and UI developer that helped make this possible. So shout out to them.
Awesome. All right. Well, while we wrap this up, one last question. What can we expect for the future of race mode? Can you give us a little sneak peek at what you're continuing to work on?
Sure. So right now, when we're talking about just getting really good times on racetracks, you've got sort of land gizmos, and then as you saw with 17 there, you got flying gizmos, and those are kind of the top of the bar for speed. And what we're looking at now is making gizmos composable out of blocks that have different properties. So better handling, better acceleration, better speed. So as you progress in the game, you'll have access to better and better blocks with which to craft your gizmos.
Oh, that's cool.
Right.
So building mindfully is going to be a bit more significant in the future.
Right, you'll have to take weight into consideration, you'll have to take size and dimensions into consideration, yeah.
Oh, I'm really excited
fun.
about
It'll be
that. Well, thank you so much, Adam,
Sure.
for diving into race mode and explaining what you have done. Fantastic, amazing work, and super excited for the future.
Great, yeah, it's good to be here, thank you.
Speaking of the future, we are now hopping into our backyard heads up. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right.
Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Backyard Brawl Q&A Heads Up, where our guest is going to run around Backyard Brawl and try to survive, try to stay alive, and also at the same time try to get Timber here to guess a word that's going to appear on a screen that I'm going to hold right next to your game screen.
It's going to be great.
And a couple of rules. You're going to pick your loadout, which we'll look at in a second,
Right.
and then you have a gizmo that you can spawn, but you can only spawn it once.
Okay.
So once you're done with that one gizmo, you are on foot and you're on your own.
All right,
Make
fair
sense?
enough. Yep.
Okay, let's go ahead and jump into our inventory and take a look,
All right,
and
so-
go ahead and choose your loadout.
Yeah, I think I'm going to keep the same gizmo because I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know it's a tier 1 weapon, but I'm really kind of fond of the potato shooter. So we'll do that.
Ooh, bold choice. I like.
Do you want to choose any other weapons?
I'm just going to go with that.
All right, cool. We've got the other ones that are going to stay in there.
You're a bold man, sir. I like
Okay,
it.
I'm going to try to keep count, but I probably will mess up. Who knows?
I'm not very good at counting, so I believe in you.
Okay. All right, Adam, are you ready?
Okay.
Start when this
go.
goes. And 3, 2, 1, begin.
All right, I'm not sad, but I'm
Mad?
in a
Upset?
better mood.
Sobbing.
Opposite of sad.
Oh, happy.
There you go.
You must not be in a good mood.
Don't know that one. Okay, so if it's the weekend, I want to go out in the woods and sleep in a tent.
Oh, you go camping.
There we go. Okay, this is... Wow. Let's pass on that one. Not a king, but a...
Queen?
Yep. Not a dog, but a...
A cat? Oh, the opposite.
I'm gonna look for some baddies around here. Too cool for...
School. Ooh, that was good.
Let's see, so this is a game where you've got a little guy with a pointed hat and shoes, and you put him somewhere, and you have to find him.
No
And,
wizard hide and seek?
it's
what?
a game that kids play, and there's like photos, and everybody's got it.
I don't care. Not happening.
So when you have an expression made out of text in a game,
It's an emoji?
right, and there's a film,
There's a film emoji. Movie emoji?
Yeah, we'll take that.
Okay, cool.
The emoji movie.
Oh,
All right, round 2.
all right, I never spawned my gizmo.
You
did I?
never did.
All right, I'm gonna jump in that. Oh, there's some baddies, okay. It just took them a while to get warmed up.
Yeah, I never did that one.
oh no, I
right.
can just see
Okay,
you skipping.
so this is a breakfast drink.
Orange juice.
All right. Oh,
no,
you're getting extra time. You're getting extra time. That is wonderful. Okay.
Oh, I'm out of my gizmo. All right, so not the Atlantic, but the...
Pacific.
Okay.
Just watching.
I might put this around my neck when it's cold in the wintertime.
scarf.
All right, big gray animal with a trunk.
Elephant. Huh.
Hey.
I want to ride my...
Bicycle.
All right.
Excellent. There's a movie with Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith.
Men in Black?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So you'd see this on a farm. It's a big vehicle that would plow the
tractor.
field. Yeah.
Oh, you
I'm out.
died. All right.
Oh no, that's it.
That is it. I was not counting that at all. And you got a little extra time because I pressed the lock button on the phone.
Oh, no.
But you did great. You guys had a
was awesome.
real rhythm going.
Yeah, we had a good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
that
going to go
was
and say
pretty
you
good.
got 15 answers. We'll
Yeah.
find out
Sure,
in
I'll
post
take
how
it.
right I am. And so, did you have fun though? That's the
Yeah,
only
it's pretty
thing
good.
that matters.
Pretty
Right?
good.
All right.
Adds an extra dimension.
It
to
really
Backyard Brawl.
does. It's a big. We should add that into the game, right? All right. Now to the outro. Wow, you and Adam did such a great job on Backyard Heads Up.
That was awesome. I would play Heads Up with Adam any day of the
You'd
week.
probably blow all the other contestants out of the water.
That'd be great. Speaking of great, the new and improved race mode. Great stuff. I want to thank Adam and the rest of the team for working so hard on
Yes.
it. It's beautiful. And of course, we have way more planned for it.
I can't wait till some of the new Gizmo stat stuff comes out and to talk about it with you guys when we can.
Yes. Hopefully, we will be talking about that soon, but it is time for us to leave. Yeah. And if you're as sad as we are about ending the cast, don't be. You can, of course, join us at discord.gg/quirk, where you can find the rest of the devs as well as our beautiful community and share your quirk stories as well. Read
Yeah,
them.
do it.
And until then, go ahead and leave a comment below. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit every button, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.